I want to do a quick demo of orbit discovery and the sort of use you might be able to get out of it as you're getting started. So here I am on Google on my Chrome browser. I've installed the Orbit for Chrome extension and the uBlock Origin extension, and I've pinned these extensions by clicking on the extension icon in the top right here and then pinning them. Now I'm going to search the word spinal ependymoma, and I'm going to add the word radiology next to it so I can get radiology-related search results. I get Radiopedia at the top. I could also show you this demo by clicking on the radiographics articles related to this, etc. But let's just look at Radiopedia first. And normally I'd have to scroll down on Radiopedia to get a differential, but what you see down here is called the discovery bar. The initial view can be collapsed or expanded using this blue arrow right here. And then what you see here is a history of articles that I've been visiting over the course of today, and they're time-stamped right here. Now I'll switch to this tab right here to get the natural language processing based support. And instead of having to scroll down on Radiopedia to look at a differential, I can instantly see the topic on the page that I'm looking at, whether it's Radiopedia or radiographics or any other page, and have it matched to one of thousands of disease topics in orbit discovery and the corresponding differential diagnosis without having to scroll anywhere. To get the full view on this, I can click View All, and this panel from Orbit Discovery swings out from the left, and you can see a validated collection of differential diagnoses prioritized based on their relevance to the primary topic that I'm interested in, spinal ependymoma, and signed by an actual faculty member. And I have a detailed signing history that tells me who decided that these were the diseases I should care about when I'm thinking about spinal ependymoma. You can actually click on the signing history and explore a little bit how this particular differential was edited, and it looks like we have faculty that had edited this entry, and then a faculty member that signed some initial edits, and then other faculty and even residents and fellows who use this, including yourself, can actually edit the differential diagnosis, and then another faculty member, in this case, came by and signed or rejected those suggestions. So in this case, the suggestion to add spinal subdural hematoma was subsequently rejected by a second faculty member. And you can actually click on the names of the faculty members to get a deep dive on who the faculty member is, what sorts of contributions they've already made in detail to orbit discovery through the Human Disease Project. If you want to collaborate on the Human Disease Project and get authorship, it's possible to do that as well. So here you see the differential, and suppose I'm interested really in a mass lesion involving the spinal canal. I think it's spinal ependymoma, and I want to see examples of all of these other diseases without having to click individually on these. There's now this one single button called Warp Speed. You can click on it and it expands and opens all of these related diseases all at once. So let me do that for you right now. So I'm clicking here, and you can see that all of the other tabs corresponding to these other diseases have opened up in the same sequence. So now I can use a keyboard shortcut, Control Tab, to easily switch between these others and actually use my mouse pad to scroll up and down and see what these other diseases look like. And so it's a super efficient way to automatically open your full differential diagnosis, to get validated differential diagnoses from a faculty member, contribute to that through collaboration with an opportunity for authorship. And then down here, you can actually see what sorts of protocols were recommended by faculty as it relates to optimally imaging this particular disease entity. And there's also labs in this. So if you saw neurofibromatosis, you would see that there's an NF1 gene panel that you could actually order to verify the diagnosis that you were considering. And then finally down here you have related articles. If you're particularly interested in spinal ependymoma, it turns out there's a great radiographics review article from 2020 that covers intramedullary masses of the spinal cord. And this is essentially a filtered Google search result that only includes radiology-related articles, and it's sorted by date. And so rather than going through the trouble of going and doing another Google search result and then sifting through radiology and non-radiology related searches, you have the highest yield articles that are relevant to the topic that you're interested in. All of this contained within the Orbit Discovery app. And then let's say you're on call and you're looking up a bunch of articles, but you want to maybe go back and study some of the ones that you saw on call or on a day shift in this case, neuroradiology. You'll actually be able to revisit them based on the time and the day that you visited any particular page. This works for Radiopedia, Orbit Discovery pulls up the relevant differential for radiographics for any of the major radiology-related sites. It's able to use natural language processing to match the content on the page with a differential, and then with the warp speed button, you can rapidly open the differential diagnosis, hopefully giving you more situational awareness and efficiency in traversing the full set of diseases you're learning about, and then ultimately considering for diagnosis and for the benefit of your patients.